Alright, so this is the problem. It's a usability thing. Alright, so I'm going to start from 0. Alright, so at the top it has buttons which let you do crap like, say, switch location. That's all using standard buttons. Like, that would be okay, up, down, left, right, whatever. Right? Oh yeah, I didn't put the go back in there. Who has media? I think, yeah, 219 for sure. Alright, so this is the iOS device. Anyways, so that's one menu, like up here, I guess you could say. Alright, so that way you don't have to navigate like in the current UI 1. If you have a list of lights, you don't have to go through all of the lights. If you're over here, you can simply go up to here, and then you have many less button clicks to do. Either go back to the home screen, choose your room, choose your user, and then the next thing is you go to the, obviously, the scenarios, but then you don't also have to, you know what I'm saying, you don't have to traverse all of this to go down to get like in the old UI where, oops, I'm punching my screen, depth perception, because previously everything was down below, so you'd have to traverse this way depending on where you were at. So that was one use case, so that way people can understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the other case. Alright, so here's the movies, right? As you can see, I actually removed the titles because it's easier to see what the freaking cover is, and it just brings up the title when you're actually on it, which may or may not go away, but that's neither here nor there. So, point being, so here we have a problem. In the previous UI, you would have, on this side, like this grid would be crunched over to maybe about here, and then you would also have a list of like an actual, text list that correlated to whatever selection you were at in here and whatnot. So, this list over here had had a similar selection. I can't speak over here, so that when you highlighted one, the other one would highlight, and you could see what the title was better, I guess, or something. So, but that's kind of like ridiculous nowadays to have that dual list in there when, I don't know, it seems ridiculous. But the question is, how would one get to filters and such if one wanted to do this? So that's the other thing that's kind of like frustrating. Yeah, so right now if you press button 1, it switches to this, which will then let you have quick access to the play all or the filters. I haven't built that thing yet. I haven't decided if it should just go all the way across, which Sambuca brought up a good point. While it's good to use tricky menus and such, getting the stuff fast is important. So keeping that in mind, I'm thinking about just removing the filters button, and then that will be like, all the different filters right there. But there also needs to be an A to Z pop-up or button, so that way you can have access to the A to Z, because you don't have that on the actual remote control. So that is essentially the problem with, and this is what I'm talking about with the tab button. Oh, by the way, this is key to actually, when you press down, it'll automatically switch back to the grid, because we don't have the tab button. But like with grids and stuff like that, I don't have a solid edge, because it's just gonna wrap. So I guess I could do like a flow or something else like that, but I don't know. It seems like we start disabling parts of the UI to replicate the old behavior when we should try and look at how we really want it to perform ideally. These are all HTTP. Well, now it had plenty of time to get them, but it's much faster. That's a whole other story of getting to the file detail screen, because every single one of those has to be different. Anyways, and you can bring up the menu and just go back to the home screen. Anyways, alright, so that's the question.